Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the RDX Sports Podcast. I'm Simon Head, and joining me on this week's show is one of the top fighters coming out of the UK, one of the top bantamweights in Europe, Mr. Jack Cartwright, former Cage Warriors champion, now looking to do the same for Oktagon MMA. And he joins me just a couple of weeks away from his next assignment at Oktagon 61 over in Brno. How you doing, Jack? How's it going?
Hi, mate. Yeah, I'm very good, thank you. Not too bad. I hope you're good. Yep, not too bad. Nearly fight week, so just almost there.
Yeah, and like the build up to this one, I guess, is a little bit different. Like this is your third one in Oktagon, right? So you had the first one, I think, was in Manchester. Second one was in Newcastle, and Oktagon is still kind of growing in the UK, so slightly smaller crowds. You're going to Brno, where I think it's going to be between sort of 6,000 and 8,000, I guess, in that arena. It's an ice hockey arena. It's going to be rammed. It's going to be absolutely rammed. This will be your first experience of fighting in one of their big arena shows. How much are you looking forward to that and being in the thick of it, so to speak?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I went over and I saw one of the shows over there in Australia. And I was impressed with like the production, and I was impressed with the turnout from the fans. So I'm really looking forward to going out and experiencing it all and putting on a really good show for the fans out there. And I'm excited to experience it all. And like I said, the fans impressed me. Like they did come for like the first prelims. The place was pretty much full. You know what I mean? So all the way through to the main card. So I'm really excited to work there and put on a excellent fight.
What's been your experience fighting for the promotion so far? Obviously, you fought. You know, most people would know you from your Cage Warriors run. Obviously, they're one of the most highly respected promotions in Europe. Oktagon are getting a lot of respect. They're putting on some incredible shows. What's been your experience of working with them so far?
They've been good. Everyone's treated me very well. The guys over at Oktagon. Like I said, the shows that I've fought on, they've all been like ran professionally. There's no like waiting around, which I like. It's not like, say, one fight ends and then there's like half an hour waiting, or it's very much like one fight ends, they're gone, bang, next fight, get ready to walk out. You straight out, boom, and you go again. And that's the way that fighters realistically want it to happen. We want to be just keep the show moving. So I like it like that. The interactions that I've had with like the owners and the matchmakers and the people who work for the company has all been positive. I've nothing really bad to say about them, to be honest. I would say that because I'm under contract, but it's true. Do you know what I mean? They've all treated me nice. You know what I mean? And it's been a pleasure working for them so far. So yeah, I'm enjoying it.
One of the things that they do maybe a little bit differently to some of the other promotions across Europe is they really lean into the storytelling side of things, all right, and sort of telling the athlete stories and all the rest of it. And it was kind of an amusing sort of sidebar to your last fight when you were getting ready to face Jonas, and you had that, I think it was the 90-second show, and by the time you sat down for the press conference, I think you just about had enough of talking about yourself. But how did you see the benefit of that in terms of how much it helped build up the fight? Because I mean, obviously I'm on the media side of things, right? It's very different from where you're sitting, but I felt it really elevated the fight and it drew a lot more interest in. But I mean, as a fighter, obviously you got to commit to doing that sort of stuff, and that was kind of a unique sort of undertaking that they were doing. So how did you find that? I've got the impression that you kind of had enough of it by the time fight week had come around, right?
I'd had enough of it the first day. Never mind, it was 40 days of that. You know what I mean? And it was that, you know what? If I've got to moan about them, that was a moan. That I'll moan about that. You know what I mean? I don't like doing that. I'm a fighter at the end of the day. And of course, I don't mind. Like, I sign up to fight, so I expose myself to letting people in on my life and my daily routines and blah blah blah. Like, my anxieties or the things that I like, the things that I don't, them sort of things. And I don't mind going into them, do you know what I mean? I'm a pretty open book. You ask me a question, I'll give you an answer. I'm not going to like I'm not going to shy away from questions. Realistically, like I said, I'm a pretty open book. I'm an honest person. Um, but yeah, it was a bit much. You know what I mean? And then like the last few weeks, your calories are low, and then your fight week, you're making weight, and then you make weight. And then we, like you said, we sit down then, and then it's like we even do the press conference after the weigh-in, which is bizarre to me. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like for do some, like the guys over there, they have their own way they do things, and they, it's like in that Central Europe, in that area, they're really successful. Do you know what I mean? And they draw big, massive crowds. But like if I'm in charge, you weigh in, and then right, see you later, buddy. I'll see you in the cage. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the last time. I'd rather do the press conference on the Wednesday, on the Thursday, weigh in on the Friday, fight the Saturday. So my
Yeah.
one complaint, here's a complaint for you. My one complaint is the presser after the weigh-in. I find that like I don't get that part. But um, so by that point, my head had already was like, I've had enough of this. Just get me in there with this guy. Let's have a scrap and let's have it out. But yeah, it was different, wasn't it? It's an experience to have. I'm in this game for experiences, and that's what life's all about, really, making yourself a bit uncomfortable, putting yourself in different positions, and seeing how it all works itself out. So there you go. And you was like you witnessed it. You was there. You would have seen the build up and the fight and all the rest of it. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no, I mean, like from my experience, sort of covering fights, you always get more out of the fighters when they're fresh, right? Or at least when they're not
Yeah,
as depleted. So when you go to a fight week and you find out that the media day is like the day before the weigh-ins,
horrible.
you know that some of those fighters are going to be struggling a bit when they're talking to you,
Yeah,
especially in the olden days when, like, we do UFCs and everyone would be sitting on a stall waiting for you to go and talk to them, and some of them would be bone dry already, and
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
it's tough to ask someone to sit there and give lucid answers to questions when all they're thinking about is just getting through the next 24 hours and the weight cut and all the
yeah,
rest of it. So,
yeah,
yeah, so it's always better when you can answer those questions when you're feeling a little bit more together and you haven't got to worry about a weight cut and stuff. But we were just talking before we actually hit record. I had a little bit of confusion. I was looking to see whether you were fighting at 45 or 35. You're both ranked at 35. You told me it is going to be a fight at 35. Mate,
yeah,
who you're fighting, Mate Sanikidze, actually was a former champion at 45 for a while.
yeah.
And how much more fun would it be if you got a phone call like 2 weeks out and it said, "Should we do this at 45?" You'd
Oh,
be
I'd
all over that,
fucking
wouldn't you?
bite. Oh, I'd bite their hand off. Yeah, fuck me. Definitely, 100%. I can swear, can't I? But
Oh
fuck,
yeah,
yeah, 100%. Man, I'll bite their hand off to do it at 45. I'm a 35. Do you know what I mean? I do fight at 35, but any fighter will tell you the weight cut's the worst part about fighting. Do you know what I mean? The weight cut and the waiting. Yeah,
yeah.
they're the worst parts. Like I bet me and Matty, whatever, I can't pronounce his name, so we'll call him Matt. I bet we'd both shake hands and have a fight right now if if we could. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. It's like, oh, I've waited around long enough now. I've done enough sparring, enough training, enough of this, enough of that. Let's just have it out right now. Me and you in room. We'll have a dust up and see who's the better man. I'm sure we'd both shake hands and be up for that. But that's what you get paid for. Do you know what I mean? You get paid for going in there, struggling, making the weight, waiting around all day long, la di da di da, doing all the handshakes, smiling, doing all this, and then going having a scrap at the assigned date and time. So that's what we signed up for, and that's what we'll be doing on the 21st of September.
How much do you look into your opponents, or do you leave that to your coaches when you're building up to a fight? Do you just focus in on what you're doing and let the coaches sort of look for tendencies, or are you someone who likes to deep dive and obsess over your opponent as well?
Nah, I don't obsess over my opponent. At the end of the day, I could. This guy's big, tall, long, thin guy who strikes from distance. Is all right in the clinch, and then obviously he's a mixed martial artist, so he's got like all assets to his game. But I could be like, oh, I need to watch out for this and blah 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 and do this. And obviously, I know what he does. I know what his strengths are, but for all I know, he's he could break his foot tomorrow, and then I fight a 5'2" midget. Do you know what I mean? And it's like I've spent the whole camp focusing on this 6'1" guy. All my training partners have been 6'1", and they all do this and they all do that, and they all just trying to mirror him. He breaks his foot tomorrow, and I fight blah blah blah. This guy, whoever. Do you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, oh no, but I've focused my whole training camp for this, and it's like, in reality, I focused my whole training camp on trying to get better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On getting better. That's what I focus. That's what my training camp's about. My training camp's about getting better. And yeah, of course, I've been in the training room. I've got a good few guys who are like 6'4", 6'1", who yeah, I've been doing more rounds with them this camp. Do you know what I'm saying? When I do my drills, yeah, my guys have been tall, skinny guys. My guys have had lanky body types and all the rest of it. And or my striking guys have been more like karate based guys. Do you know what I'm saying? Or what they kick more, or they blah blah blah. I'm fighting a southpaw. I'll pick more southpaws. But in reality, it's I do my best. I shore up my holes. I work on my strengths, and I whittle away at my weaknesses, try and make them a bit better. And then yeah, like you say, you do pads, and you're like, right, he likes to do this, he likes to do that. So we need to be wary of that. So we drill the defense, or we drill whatever. Or when he fights better going left than right, or vice versa, he fights going best forward or backwards. Blah 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 blah. So of course you have them basic things in your mind, but for instance, he might fight much better going backwards than forwards. For instance, maybe. So, but he might come out and start trying to push me back loads. Do you know what I'm saying? Or he might start fighting and start moving around more. And if I've got this preconceived notion in my mind about what I think that he wants to do, and then he goes out and does something completely opposite, is that gonna disturb me? Is that gonna make me think that? The answer is no, because I couldn't give a flying fuck about what he's planning to do. I'm planning to impose my will on him. He's planning to impose his will on me, and that's why it's a fight, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? That is the definition of a fight, I guess. So
Yeah. No,
no,
absolutely. And you know, you've got this career record. You've only been defeated twice in your whole career. And like the old adage that I keep hearing when I talk to fighters is that people learn more from their losses than they do from their wins. I don't know how true that actually is, or whether it's just the fact that because you lose, it kind of forces you to assess things. But how were things for you after the Jonas fight? Because there was a super competitive fight. It obviously didn't go your way on the night. You'd had the build up and everything else that went into it, as we talked about earlier, and to come out the other side of it and it not go your way. How do you go about processing that? And are you someone who just sits there and goes, right, sod this, we move on? Or do you sit down and sort of break it down and work out where things didn't work out for you and address that in training camp for the next one? How did you go about sort of righting the ship, so to speak, after the Jonas fight?
I guess first and foremost, it's like life is life. Do you know what I mean? It's like some days you wake up and things just aren't cracking. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. Sometimes you zig when you should have zagged, or sometimes it's just what's meant to be will be. I guess it's like I've said this before. It's like he fought brilliantly. Jonas fought top. Do you know what I mean? Like, well done, Jonas. You fought a good fight. I didn't think I fought a particularly good fight. I think that he beat somebody in the who I didn't give a full representation of the skill level that I possess. But that's in taking nothing away from the performance that he did on the night. That was an excellent performance, and given what I gave forward that night in terms of skill level and how I chose to fight that fight and how he did, he deserved the win. You know what I'm saying? That day with how he fought and how I fought, he kind of what we just spoke about the how do you think about your opponent and do you practice this and that? You'd best believe he had an excellent game plan and he executed that very well. And I didn't. You know what I'm saying? And if I fought him again, I'd do the exact same fucking thing. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't go in there with a game plan. Realistically, I'd go in there with a roundabout game plan. Would I do things differently? Obviously, but it's like they're not things that I didn't know then. There's nothing new that I learned from having had that. Do you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
It's just little mistakes that you make in the moment, little choices that you make when you shouldn't have done. Um, yeah, like I wholeheartedly believe I could fight him right now, jump out my car, fight the guy right now, and punch him all over the show. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah.
just like, but what actually happens on the night is what matters. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not. I've said this fucking before. I get bored of saying it. It's not the best fighter that wins. It's the guy that fights the best. Do you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And he fought better than me that night. So congratulations. Did I answer your question? What was the question? Forget.
No, you
What
did.
was it?
You did. You're all good. The obvious follow up to that is, if all goes well for you on September 21st, you get this win against Mate. You're right up there in that, probably in the top 3 or 4 in the division. I think Mate's ranked 4th or 5th in the division. So you beat him, you're there or thereabouts. You're in with a shout of a title shot, or potentially, because Jonas is still around and about up there, that could be potentially on the table as well. Is that something that you would actively go after, having a rematch, given how the first one went and how disappointed you were in how it panned out?
Yeah, I'll fight anyone, bro. I said it before. I fought Jonas. I said I'll fight all these guys. I'm not here to cherry pick, man. Like any
Yeah.
guy, any single person that Octagon have offered me, I've said yes to. Literally, I was supposed to fight on. They offered me a fight on that July 20th show. I said yeah straight away. Can't remember who it was. It was the bald guy. I can't remember his name. But they offered me some guy. Yes, straight away. And then like 3 4 weeks. No, it was 4 weeks before the fight. He was like, oh no, we can't get you on the card. Bang, we'll get you on this card on the
Yeah.
September card instead. Do you want to fight? Do you want to fight Sanikidze? Straight away, yes, no problem. You go. Could you do this date or this date? I said the earliest date possible. Bang, this one. Do you know what I'm saying? Get me on this, not asked. It's like I'm here to be the best fighter. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not bothered. So it's like I go in there. I wanna finish this guy. I wanna win. I wanna finish him. And I wanna fight again. So I thought Jonas was. I did Jonas not win the title in his last fight? I thought that's what that was.
It
Because
was,
Lima got signed. I don't fuck
yeah.
knows, man. I didn't watch it.
He
I
was
didn't watch it, man.
he
I
was going
didn't
to be
watch
the
the
main
fight.
event. He was going to be the main event with Lima, and Lima got called up to the UFC.
Yeah. So
And then he got bumped way down the card. He fought on the prelims pretty much. He was way down the card. Obviously got a good win, but it wasn't a title fight. So I think the belt's vacant right now. So
okay.
so it's wide open there. You go in and make a massive statement on September 21st. You could call for a title shot. Fair chance you'll get one. So it's wide open. But what I was going to ask you, obviously, you mentioned finishes. I think you've only been to this card in terms of your wins. I think only one of them has been a decision. I think so. I think almost all of them have been finishes, whether it's subs or KOs. What's the secret to being a finisher in MMA? Because there's so much involved in an MMA fight. There's so many different ways it can go. For someone to be able to consistently finish fights, how is it? Is it one of those where the finishes just come to you, or is it a mindset, or some people say they don't push for finishes because when they do, they don't come. I mean, what's been your experience of it in terms of, as someone who finishes almost all of their opponents when they win?
I'm a risk taker. I'm a gambler. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna hold you down. I'm not. I saw his last fight. This guy, this Matty. I saw his last fight. I ain't gonna do that to you, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to like try and hump you to death. Do you know what I'm saying? That isn't my style. Do you know what I'm saying? If I take you down, it's to try and fucking punch your head in or strangle you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here to. I don't want a boring fight. My last fight was fucking boring. Do you know what I'm saying? I didn't like my last fight, right? I'm not here for that. Yeah, I'm not here to go and fight you for 15 minutes and people bored. If people see me on the card, I want them to think, don't go for a piss when this guy's fighting. Do you know what I'm saying? He's coming for a scrap. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm coming. I don't wake up every day and go and scrap with fucking 20 guys for a boring fight. Do you know what I'm saying? I want like my kid to grow up and know his dad's an exciting fighter. Yeah. I want my friends and family to come. They spend the money. I've got people traveling over to the Czech Republic. Like, they don't come to my fights watching boring shit. Do you know what I mean? They come to my fights to watch. I'll risk it. Do you know what I mean? I said before I fought Jonas, I'm going to risk it, man. My chin will be up in the air and I will be swinging heavy punches. That's what I was doing. Yeah. And the little motherfucker was shooting, yeah, trying to take me down the whole time. Yeah. And he hit me with some big punches, man. But then when he realized I could eat them, he was fucking diving for my legs, right? And fair play, bro. Fair play, Jonas. But this tall motherfucker ain't getting underneath my punches, let me tell you. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking grab him. I'm gonna punch him up. But that's it, man. I'm here for exciting fights. I'm here to win, and I'm here to throw heavy punches and take risks, whether that be submissions, whether that be strikes. I'm not happy with decisions, really. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, if it's a choice of a decision win or a fucking loss, I'm taking a decision win. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm not fucking I'm not stupid, but like I'll be hunting that submission from the first second till the last second. I'll be hunting the knockout from the first second till the last. And if I catch you slipping, you're gonna slip. I'm gonna fucking do you. You know what I'm saying? And that's always been my style. Whether I've been boxing, wrestling, doing MMA, I've always been like. When I was wrestling when I was a kid, I used to pin everyone. When I was boxing, I used to stop them. When I do MMA, like you said, amateur and pro, I think I've had like 20 fights. Amateur and pro, I've had like I think maybe 18 finishes, 17, 18 finishes. I'm not a boring guy. I'm a hunter. Yeah, I'm a finisher, and that's you'll see that again come the 21st.
Yeah, and you mentioned about having that sort of mindset from when you were younger on the way up. You're coaching as well now, right? You coach at Wayfarer, is that right? You coach the kids and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah,
How's
coach,
that?
yeah, coach. Huh?
How's that? Obviously, you're preparing for your fights, but when you're
Yeah.
off training camp, you're there sort of bringing up the next generation and stuff. How rewarding is that to you as a martial artist, being able to sort of give back and bring on the next generation and stuff?
Yeah, it's good. I like it's a double-sided coin. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah,
I, half of me gets frustrated because I know who I am and like I can't coach children. Do you know what I'm saying? Really? Do you know what I'm saying? I have no. There's a disconnect there because when I was 5, 6, 7, if you told me to do run through the wall, I'm running through the wall. You know what I mean? You told me to do sit down and with your hands on your head for an hour. You come back an hour later, I'm sat there with my hands on my head. Do you know what I mean? Do 100 press ups, I'll do 100 press ups. Kids these days, that I don't have that. I don't have it. Do you know what I'm saying? So we have other coaches to teach them, but
right.
when they start getting a bit older, they start getting to like teenagers. You start being able to give them a bit of a slap here and there. I can have them then. Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? They get handed over to me because I can't. When the kids, it's like it's not going to work unless they're a certain type of person. But
yeah,
like my favourites are like say 14, 15, 16-year olds coming up because I like the naughty kids then. Do you know what I'm saying? I like the little
yeah,
naughty kids then who you give them a little bit of effort, you give them a little bit of love, and then they you see them thinking they're the type of kids that they never get told good work, they never get told um like they never get a pat on the back, they never get like positive praise, and obviously I don't hand out that positive praise um often. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I come from like a lineage of coaches where my fucking coach didn't speak to me for like fucking a year and a half. And then I'd be say if you go to the gym, and then you're doing things and you're doing good. You never really get praise, but then you get that little bit. It's kind of an abusive relationship, really. You get the little bit of praise, and you think, "Fucking yes." And the little bit of praise could just be like, "Good work." You know what I mean? But that's
yeah,
something, and I guess that's kind of the way I am. Do you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna praise you for just showing up and listening to me. Like That is the bare minimum. Do you know what I'm saying? I want to see you hitting things exactly right and consistency and all that sort of thing. So when I see, like, say, a naughty kid come in who you can tell he ain't got great social skills, or you can tell he don't really like authority or any of that sort of stuff, it's nice 6 months down the line when you see that kid starting to be on it and respectful, and they're showing up consistently and they're hitting moves, and you can see that they're trying to help other people in the gym and all that sort of stuff. That's my favourite part about it. Obviously, when I send them out and they win, that's that's excellent, and I love that. But like,
Mm.
see, not everyone's going to be a world champion. Do you know what I'm saying? Not everyone's going to be able to become a professional fighter or even an amateur fighter. But I like the you're building like men, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? And women. Do you know what I mean? You're building strong, confident people, and that's my favourite thing that I like about coaching. Realistically,
Yeah, you're talking about praise, and it doesn't always come easy. Do you feel like you've had
yeah.
the credit you deserve for what you've done in your career so far as a British fighter, as an English fighter?
I've done fuck all, bro. Do you know what I mean? I've done, in my opinion. Do you know what I'm saying? What have I fucking done? Do you know what I mean? I'm not even halfway done from what I want to achieve in this sport. Do you know what I mean? It's like I don't fucking give a flying fuck who who gives me recognition. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't need any recognition. Um, if you like me and you like me, thanks, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like I guess that's a good thing. But I'd rather people like me than not. I guess, but if I guess nah, man, I don't. Most people are nice to me. Most people are nice to me, I guess, but I don't really care. Like I'm not here to be liked or anything like that. I'm here to do my best, do my family proud, do my gym mates proud, and beat people in the cage.
You know, with the way you fight, the way you approach everything, and it's kind of like a no nonsense approach to the sport, right? There's a lot of people who like the sort of the trash talk, the social media, all the rest of it. The impression I get with you know, you just get in and fight. You just get in and fight, and you fight
Yeah,
in a style that people like to watch because you know you're constantly going for the finish. And I think that fighting in a packed arena in 2 weeks' time in Brno, you know, you're going to come away with a lot more fans than you already have. So whether you think you're getting the respect you deserve or not, I don't know, but I think you're definitely going to be getting a lot more respect through fighting on events like this. So I'm looking forward to seeing
well,
how it all. Yeah,
that's what I'm excited for. That's what I'm excited for. I'm excited to go out there, and like I said at the start, there's the passionate fans, man. The passionate fans, and I used to love going over to them sort of countries when I was a kid, and wrestling. So I'm really excited to go over there, and they'll appreciate it. Believe me, I'll burn my heart and soul every single time I fight. So I can promise you value for money every single time I'm on the card. I'm willing to die out there. Do you know what I mean? I literally give my life for this sport, man. So I'm willing to go out on my shield or send him home on his, and I'll be there to do just that on the 21st.
Yeah, 21st of September, Octagon 61 in Brno, the winning group arena. Jack Cartwright versus Mate Sanikidze is going to be one of the fights of the night for sure. Winner may well be in for a bantamweight title shot maybe at some point. Is that the aim of the game at the end of the day, Jack? Just to get get some silverware around your waist in 2025 or
That's all.
before.
The goal, yeah, man. I want to fight in December, man. I want to beat this guy up, and I want to go and fight in December before Christmas if they do one, because I want to get fat for Christmas, yeah. So I want to beat this guy up, get another one in before the end of the year, enjoy my Christmas, fight again in March. Fucking just get me out there, man. Get me out there, get me fighting. I ain't asked whether it's go and fight fucking Beavis again, go and fight fucking what's he called, fucking Jonas, any of them fucking guys, man. I'm not asked, but I've got Sanikidze to deal with on the 21st, and yeah, man. If it's a title fight next, give me the title. I'll be happy with that. Like I said, I've already got the Cage Warriors one at home, so I'll have the Octagon one. Like I said it after my last fight, even though I lost, you give me some fights, man. I will be the champion of this organization. Um, yeah, man, and that's the plan.
Great stuff. Well, Jack, really appreciate you taking the time to chat to us, and hope the rest of the build up goes well. Stay nice and safe. Stay out of trouble, and hopefully all goes well with the weight cut, and you get in there and put on the performance that you know you can do on fight night on the 21st. All the very best to you, my friend.
Thank you very much, man. Thanks, mate.
There we go. Massive thank you to Jack Cartwright, one of the best bantamweights to come out of the UK. He's going to be headed to Brno in just a week or so's time to get himself ready to take on Mate Sanikidze, the former featherweight champion of Oktagon MMA. That will be a contender fight at 135 pounds at the Winning Group Arena at Oktagon 61. As I say, September 21st. You can catch that live on DAZN here in the UK, and make sure you check out his performance on that card. Another Brit on the card, Scott Askham, taking on Mahmoud Muradov in the co-main event. That will be an absolute banger at middleweight as well. Lots going on in Oktagon MMA, and it's great to see the Brits getting stuck in and getting involved as well. Thank you so much to Jack once again for joining us on the show. Thanks to you for checking us out. Don't forget you can subscribe via YouTube, you can subscribe via Spotify, and we're also now on Apple Podcasts as well. Follow us on all the socials. You can see them running along the bottom of the screen here. Simon Head Sport for me on all social platforms, and RDX Sports on Twitter, RDX_sports on Instagram. And don't forget, you can check out our MMA and combat sports coverage at blogs.rdxsports.com. Lots of fights coming down the line this month, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're a part of them. Watch them live. Join us for the reaction. And we'll walk you through all the big talking points as this crazy sport carries on into the month of September. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the fights, and we'll speak to you soon.